It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. And watch out for cars making use of the DRS zone into turn 1 to try and overtake. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Sergio Perez, Schofield, Leclerc, Stroll, Norris and Alexander Albon, Sainz, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen, Grosjean, Gasly, Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Russell, Latifi and Tatiana Calderon. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch. About the start, we can still get a good result here. Nice move. Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Is 6.0 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they have done, and done it in spectacular style. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? It was more like dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it? Appreciate your time.